Welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton Show. 2026. And 2026, we're doing something different. We're bringing back those guests that have really, let me put it like this, have taken that beast mindset and really elevated it and continuously elevating not only within themselves but for the community and let's call it what it is, the world. Today, you recognize this face before. She's been on the show. She's been all over social media, her and her band. That's welcome back all the way from Ohio, Miss Tracy Roese. What's up, Trace?
What's up? Thank you so much for having me back. This is so exciting.
Yeah.
You've done quite a lot in the last year, too.
What have
I'm
I
excited
done? What
for
have
you.
I done in a year? What have I done?
Well, you're on all the major streaming platforms now.
That was a goal.
Oh my, that
was
you
a goal.
did it. You did it. I'm so happy for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But you know, we're rocking it out too. I last time I was alone, and this time I brought my boys.
Yeah, introduce our band.
Right. So I don't know, on the, towards the wall there, closest, I don't know, right or left for the camera.
Closer to the B sign.
Closer to the B sign. That is the brains of my operation. That is Michael Blaha, otherwise known as Rhythm of Andreas.
Wow.
He's been doing music for 50 years. He's got quite a big repertoire under the name of Rhythm of Andreas. So if you look him up, you'll see he's got a lot of originals, which we're going to start doing. And then to your right, that is the world's greatest drummer. That is Don Blakely. And if you've ever met him or ever played with him, you know he is the best.
Really? Welcome, guys. Welcome.
I am so blessed to be with these guys. I could not do what I'm doing without these guys. Last year I was by myself.
Yeah.
This year, I'm not alone anymore. He plucked me out of obscurity, and now we're a band. So
we're gonna get right into some questions. We're gonna get into some questions and answers right now. Sit back and enjoy the show, guys, because we're getting ready to talk about the evolution of this band and why it came to be.
Right.
So first, before we get started, I'm gonna start with you, Tracy, and I'm gonna go around. Introduce yourself and tell the viewers a little bit about you before we get into the band and everything that you guys are doing.
I am Tracy Roese. I had a solo show for about 15 years. After I stopped teaching, I was a 20-year science teacher before I decided to stop listening to what everybody else told me to do and just follow my own dream and do my own thing. And I've been doing the solo show for 15 years until Rhythm of Andreas, picked up on, you need a band. And I was like, I know, I would love to sing with a band. And so he made it happen. But that's it, really. My story is I listened to everybody else tell me what I should do until I realized that wasn't working for me. And I hit about 40 and I was like, why am I doing what everybody else told me to do? And so then I set out, I made a list of everything that I thought I needed to do exactly what we're doing now. And here we are 15 years later.
Wow. Okay, let's start over here. The mastermind, the engineer, television production, the brains pretty much, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell the viewers a bit about who you are.
I don't know about the brains, but it's definitely a lifelong passion. You know what that's about.
Yeah.
Making something from nothing.
Really?
That is where it's at. And, we're building step by step to be able to one day do our own material that we have ready waiting, but we got to put everything else in place. So my name's Michael Blaha. All my life I've been after this dream. I've come so close so many times, but there's always personality issues. There's always things that just don't go right.
Mm-hmm.
Life comes in your way, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, do I really have to start over again?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Been
so
there.
yeah, right. So that's what it is. It's all about really making something from nothing and sharing that with the world. That's all it is.
I like that.
It's simple.
I like
It
that.
really is simple. But the road is, you know how the road
It's
is.
not
Yeah.
easy.
With your dream of
Right.
doing this,
Yeah.
with our dream, very similar. Just the obstacles that come out of nowhere is so difficult
Right.
at
Right.
times.
It's
We-
really funny how we met. He was a sound guy, doing sound and light for the band that I was singing with at the time. And he's like, "Man, you could sing with any band you wanted. What are you doing?
You saw
What are you
potential,
doing?"
but before we
He
get
saw me.
there,
Yeah.
let's interview our next guest.
ahead.
Let's
Oh,
tell
he's
them-
amazing.
Let's talk about the amazing drummer. When you say drummer and amazing, the first person I think about drumming is, no disrespect, you probably know who I'm about to say. I like the dude from Def Leppard.
He's amazing.
How are you compared to him?
Well, quite a bit different because I was trained classically as a jazz big band drummer,
Wow.
and then started working with a group out of Columbus. It was a horn band. We did a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago stuff.
Right.
Did that for many years. Then that group broke up, and I played with some blues people, as well as when I worked with the eight-piece group. He was the contractor who did a lot of the shows that came to the Hyatt Theater and some of the bigger venues.
Right.
So I got to back some of the national acts that came through town, which was pretty fun, especially when the person playing percussion was the head of the percussion department at Ohio State, and I'm going, why isn't he sitting down here and me back there?
Yeah.
But anyway, so we did the big band stuff we did for a while, and then said moved more into the rock type things. Was about ready to retire, quite honestly. I'm tired of dealing with everything you deal with in the music business, and I'm a 35-year veteran of the fire service, so I was
Right.
retired from that, and answered a cold call. Saw Tracy's ad looking for a drummer, and I thought, well, let's give this one last shot. And thank goodness it was a great mix and a great fit, and I'm having lots of fun.
I'm gonna continue this. Everybody saw Tracy and Tracy saw you. It's just amazing how the universe works. But you capped on something. I never thought about this. There's different types of drummers. I never thought about that. How were you able to transition from what you was taught to going into the rock and roll era? Because you played with Earth, Wind, and Fire and stuff. That's rhythm. That's R&B sort of.
Yes.
But now, how did you craft all of that, and how did you know which one you really wanted to stay with?
Well,
You wasn't prepared for that question, were you?
I wasn't. No.
I'm ready for it. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to this.
Well, I guess really early in my career, like I said, I was, my goal was, quite honestly, was to play with Nelson Riddle and back Frank Sinatra when I was 20 years old.
Really?
Then I realized very quickly I didn't know anyone that was going to put me in that position.
Wow.
So after 3 years of traveling on the road with a couple of different bands, I went to work for the fire service, and then that's when we ran into the band that did the Earth, Wind, and Fire in Chicago, stuff, and played around locally in town. Did that as a part-time thing for years. You just transition. I mean, your job is to keep the time.
Have you always wanted to play drums?
Yes, I've played drums since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. My father was a professional drummer, so
Really?
he started training me initially, and then I, as I hit the high school age, then I went and studied with a local drummer in town, and then, like I said, when I was 20 years old, I went on the road.
Really?
Did that for 3 years before I realized that this was not going to be my career.
Right.
So I went to the fire service.
Now, do you guys now? You're still in production, television, and music. You still hold on to your craft. I'm gonna ask, and you was a school teacher. I used to be a school teacher, so I'm gonna ask all three of you guys: is it work for you? Now, think about this for a minute.
Don't
for a
have
moment.
to. Don't have
Is
to.
this work? Is this purpose? What is this for you guys now at a tender age that we all are?
It is a way of life.
Okay.
It's not work. It wears you out though, but it's not
Tell
like
me.
work.
Yeah.
It's a way of life.
Yeah.
It's just what you do. It's a passion. It's not like getting up. Oh, I'm gonna dread today. No, you look forward to it.
Right.
You look forward to. It's a way of life. It's not work. definitely not.
What do you
where
tell?
from.
What do you tell? What do we tell the younger viewers, the younger listeners that because music has changed, the sound has changed.
Right.
It's almost like we lost the creativity since we now have AI. It's kind of like people don't think anymore. Like, how can I take music to the next level? You guys have been down there. You're playing old school music. You're creating new school music.
Right.
What's been the change for you guys?
For myself, it's the essence of what the basics of the music is. It's still there.
Yeah.
You still have to create something from nothing.
Right.
The challenge is creating the original part that nobody else has, right? Not to be influenced, because no matter what you do, you're influenced.
Right.
But when somebody hears something brand new, they're like, wow, I've never heard that. And that's that first time experience they get from listening to your piece or the essence of what you're doing,
Right.
and making them feel good.
Yeah.
That makes it worth it. So the change, there's different genres of music that have different ways of making them. None of them are wrong. All of them are valid. So the tools you use may change, but the outcome, is it still music? Absolutely.
Right.
Right. And it's different now in the sense that it's so much better because you have more access as an unsigned artist. You have more access than you ever had before. And so
What was limiting you then? Since you have more assets now, you went out, excuse me, and knew what you needed to increase your visibility and your brand. What was lacking that you needed outside of these gentlemen when you talk about accessibility now and your music not being heard? And how important was it for you to really, what did you need to build your brand?
Initially, it was legitimization for me,
Okay.
because I would try to pitch my solo show, and people would say, "Oh, it's karaoke." I'm like, "No, I'm not karaoke."
Don't that piss you off? What even made them thought
I'm
that
like,
you was karaoke? That should be the thing.
But it was a misunderstanding. It's because they don't know what they don't know. And it's really difficult to pitch your show to people who don't know. I can sing to backing tracks, and that's what I was doing. I was singing to backing tracks. It's just,
what does
it's
that
like
mean
a
for
block.
the people that don't know what a backing track is?
A backing track is just music behind. You play. It used to be CDs. Remember, we used to have to go to the
Shh, don't tell our age.
used to be CDs, or you could create.
You can't even pick one of them up.
You
in
could
the
create
Goodwill.
music to accompany you in your voice, and that goes with you, and you just, it's plug and play.
Okay.
You play the music, and then you just sing to it. So
That sounds like karaoke.
it looks like karaoke, it sounds like karaoke, but it's not karaoke. Karaoke is a whole different animal where you're doing the same thing, but you've got people that are not professional singers doing it, and most of them, the drunker you are, the better you think you sound.
What makes a professional singer? What is a professional singer? Do you turn professional as soon as you exchange currency?
That's a deep question, and
I like
think
putting out deep questions.
I feel like you become professional when you stop. You do it for fun. There's always an element of fun. You asked earlier about, is it work? It's never work. I mean, like, it's in your DNA to do this. And then when you start getting paid, it's not just the money though that makes you a professional. When you start getting paid, when you start being able to do it for a living.
That's when it's professional.
That's when you're professional.
That's when you wake up every single day.
Every day, and live, work, breathe to do this.
How hard is it, either one of you guys, to make it? Let's get real. I've been blessed to have tons of great artists here, and I see the grind that they deal with trying to put their stuff out there. How difficult is it, really?
Well, and the answer to this question leads to what obstacles you were talking about before that is different now from when it was before. What it was before is you had to know somebody. You had to have an agent. You had to have a label. You had to have a manager. You had to have a stylist. You had people telling you what to do, what to sing, how to sing, what kind of music you were doing. You know, everything was told to you if you had the right people around you. And if you didn't, nobody knew you existed. And then all these streaming platforms and the videos and everything, Facebook, social media, everything came up. And now anybody who wants to put music out there can put music out there. There's no barriers to entry into this industry anymore, but you've got to be good. And if you're not good, then yeah, your stuff's out there, but it doesn't pick up.
Isn't it more like
unless
that
you're
you
good.
guys are? Let me put it out. Let me put it like this. You said something that was cool. What's more important here with becoming visible? Because it first starts with being visible and having a name. I get it. Social media is cool, but my question here is, I'm going to make you think for a little bit.
Sure.
What are you going to do when they decide to shut social media down? How do you brand? How do you market? What do you do? How do you stay relevant in a world that's forever changing? And more importantly, people are always dependent on social media to elevate. And this was a trip to me, because I'm always thinking way down the line. I said, what are you going to do if social media crumbles? You know what happened last year? Remember TikTok? Everybody freaked out. It was a panic.
Right, right.
So my question is, as it pertains to you and music, what do you do?
We play live.
You morph into the new thing,
Okay.
whatever the new way is. For example, let's go back 200 years. What are you going to do?
200 years?
200.
200 years.
Nothing.
Now here's an example.
Nothing.
Think of this.
That's before my time.
What do you-
Before my time, too.
what are you going to do when they get rid of horses?
Walk.
What happened? Cars came along.
Something else comes
What are you
up.
going to do when you get rid of social media? What's the next best thing? We don't know yet.
Television and radio.
Possibly.
Right, but it wasn't easy to even get on radio for musicians before. You still had to have the in. Radio is what created the music industry in this country. Radio started the ball rolling, but you had to have that in. You couldn't just be a nobody and send your music to a radio station and have them play it.
Here's another huge thing. Pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
AI was a thought. It was not active like it is today. In 4 years, my job, production, script writing, something that took me weeks, I can do in 5 minutes now. All because AI technology. And it's evolving so fast, we don't know where we're going to be in like 3 years from now. The same with the music industry.
How are you
it's
guys?
morphing.
How are you guys morphing into the AI sector with your music
Well,
and performances?
we use it as a baseline because AI is great, but it's not creative. It's not creative the way the human mind is creative. And this is the science part of me. You can't just let AI do all the work. There's still that human element that has to be added to. Because if you've ever used AI, it's very basic what it produces for you. But it just gives you a backbone to then expand from. And so that's where I think if you know how to use the technology and you keep up with the technology, it can help you. Don't be afraid of it. That's why we struggle with other band members. It's nobody wanted to embrace the technology that we were using to do what we do.
What do you mean? Like, give me an example. What did you present to them that they was like, hey, I'm
This is a can of worms.
shying away?
We use in-ear monitors for our shows. Exclusively in-ear monitors. We do not have any wedges, amps, nothing on stage. The only stage noise that we produce is from the drums. Everything else is piped directly into the mains, so the sound engineer has absolute control over everything. And to our understanding, this is the wave of the future. It's the time when you have bass players and guitar players with Marshall stacks blasting behind them are coming to an end. And that's where we struggled. We had other musicians that just didn't want to use in-ear monitors, didn't want to use click tracks, didn't want to use the technology that we're
Explain
trying.
that to me, because I like to learn. I don't
Honestly,
know what
I don't
that is.
understand why they were against it
So
either.
you mean a bass player? I love to play. I play the bass and the sax. So me playing, you won't hear me, or you control what the audience hears through the speakers.
It's all about the audience. You hear yourself in your headset, obviously.
Yeah.
You control your own mix of what you want to hear. But I think part of it is the majority of the, let's say, quote, old school, they don't want to adapt, nor possibly, they probably don't know how. They're set in their ways, and they think this is how it's been done, this is who I am, and I don't need to move forward. But back to your question, what makes a professional? Somebody that executes the plan. Our plan is to go beyond what is the now, to our future.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to change to propel themselves into that.
I'm still trying to grasp.
Yeah.
Forgive me. I'm a critical thinker here.
Right.
I'm trying to. It's been a while since I've been to a concert. Put it like that. I'm used to seeing the speakers and hearing the drummer with the glass around him. Boom, 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 boom. You telling me now with technology, how am I listening to a concert? Am I the spectator? Am I putting a device in my ear?
Yes.
How is that's what it is?
So
You
it
put a
can.
device in your ear. Yes.
Well, for the musicians, they have a device in their ear instead of monitor wedges.
Well, how am I hearing the guys perform? The guitar, the saxophone, the drummers, and I'm in the audience. How am I hearing actual music?
There, you have your own mix, full mixer, digital mixer that puts in your headset what you want to hear, not what somebody else wants to hear.
Not what the audience is hearing,
Right.
what you want to hear.
What you want to hear as a musician. Now, the audience is still mixed through the mains, the PA system. But, when you said headset, there are concert venues now that really do hand out headsets, and you can have your own experience with just headset. There's a silent concerts. They do exist.
I am totally blown away. I need to go see a concert.
You need to come see our concert.
That's crazy. So, what doesn't change with technology? What about drums? Because now the drums, which I love, the going to the music stores and putting my headphones on, and I don't have to have a whole bunch of big things. I can play them flat things and be like, wow, this is technology at its finest. What's your take on the new technology of drums?
It's evolving very well, but it's not the same as playing acoustic drums. I personally don't believe.
Really?
Yeah,
It sounds good through those speakers, man.
They do. They do.
They can. They have a little different feel. You have to get used to that.
Really?
I've noticed some of the concerts. Now they'll use electronic drums, but acoustic cymbals.
Yeah.
So you'll see that now. It's great. A lot of churches are using the electronic drums because they can control volume. They don't have to have that glass around in front of the drummer that can't play with.
What's that glass for? That always puzzled me.
It keeps the singers happy, so the cymbals that are sitting at ear level don't blast them in the back of the head.
Okay, now you guys heard it live. I don't be in the concerts.
It's
Be like,
control
what is
the
that
noise,
glass
yeah.
for? Like,
It holds the volume back.
okay.
But for the drummer, it's like sitting in a glass box.
Yeah, but don't that make you look cool? People like, who's the drummer? Everybody wants to know who the drummer is.
They look cool, but they take some adjustment. Actually,
Yeah.
it's an adjustment to learn to play with in-ears. And like I said, as Michael said earlier, I've got like a 32-channel mixing board on my iPad. If I've got, I want to hear more bass drum, I can pop that bass drum as loud as I want. And if I want the bass player and the drummer to be punchy, I can pull it up and pull the vocals way down where I'm barely hearing the vocals to be able to tell where we are, but you and I are grooving together because it's solid where we are. So we have complete
Really?
control of the mix, bring the keyboards where I want them. So it really helps. And a lot of times with drummers, you can't hear your bass drum. It's going out in front of you. You can hear your toms, hear your snare drum, but a lot of times you can't hear your bass drum. So by doing that, I can turn my bass drum as loud as I want it,
And be good.
and be good.
It's kind of like what we talked about when we were talking about people using the clip-on mics. And I said, well, why are people so in the clip-on mics when your voice goes this way? It doesn't go down. So you're losing how much audio frequency? Who knows?
Decibels, right?
Yeah, so that's the same idea behind why people are so stuck to the original technology. It's a perception.
Right.
It's not reality. Those are not better.
Yeah.
These are better.
Yeah.
And the way we're doing it, we feel like is better because it's plug and play. It's so easy. It's so much better for I think I spoke to you before. The whole reason that it works for me like this, the zero stage noise, is I'm hearing impaired. I can't
Yes, I forgot about
I
that.
can't function with a Marshall stack blasting me. Everything blends together. So this was the perfect workaround.
Hearing impaired. Go a little deeper. What can you not hear, and where do I have to be? Are you reading my lips?
Yes.
Are you reading my lips?
Well, mostly I read lips mostly. I can hear, I just don't hear the way you do.
Can you hear what I'm saying now?
Yes.
You can?
Yes. I mean, I'm a little ringy right now because
Yeah.
we're just coming off of a really good event, a really good show last night. So
Yeah.
we're still a little we're still pretty.
Did you have to find? Did you have to find a crew that can adapt to your hearing impairment? Because you still have to be able to, like you said, you got your control center,
Right.
but you have a hearing impairment.
Right. Well, we do everything ourselves, so they're used to my.
Used to your what? Bullshit.
Sorry.
That's all right.
No, so they're used to. So everything we do together. So we don't have roadies. We don't really work with anybody else but each other, because literally, we do our own lights. We do our own special effects. We've created our own videos. We've done everything. It's plug and play. So for my hearing, I can hear. I can read your lips. What I have is interference. I hear things that are not there.
Okay.
Like it's a form of tinnitus. Huey Lewis had the same problem.
Really?
It's called distortional interference deafness. So I've got a whooshing sound sometimes,
Oh, like water.
or water, or it's different. Sometimes it's different, and it can be stress induced. It can be, some of it is genetic, some of it is injury, some of it it's a lot of different things put together. But it just makes it. I can hear. Sometimes when I'm trying to hear your voice, there, like right now, there is it sounds like a fan.
Yeah, that's air
But
conditioning.
that's all I can hear.
That's air
It's
conditioning.
like it's emphasized
I'm
in my
glad you
brain.
can hear that, because if we didn't, we'd be fucked up.
But,
It lets me know it's
like
working.
some sounds, that's very subtle to most people, but in my
loud.
brain, it's like it's there, and some of it is, and it's in addition to the several ringing tones that I hear.
How do you perform in front of a crowd who's screaming and yelling?
In-ear monitors. Boom.
So you
Problem
tune them
solved.
out.
I don't have to tune them out. With the in-ear monitors, I hear none of it. I just hear
All
what
right,
I want to hear.
I'm coming to Ohio. You got to show me
See,
this
this guy
technology.
saved me. He's the one that created the way for me to. I'm gonna cry. Sorry.
And she has complete control. She can control what she hears, what she doesn't hear.
Really?
He saved me.
Did you focus on that for that very reason? To find something that can make it easy for her to perform?
We did the technology part so she's able to hear what she needs to hear to perform well. She only puts in there what she needs to make herself shine, and then she sings with the audience, not at them, with them.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
I can see. That's
It's a dream come true. I started in acting because I didn't think I could sing, because I always knew I could sing, but I couldn't sing with a band. You know, I could sing with CDs. I could do karaoke like a mad because I could internally time the songs in my head, like a click track in my head.
Right.
And so I could sing songs with, I think we talked about the Wise Guy Kitchen show before. I could do that because nothing ever changed. There were no dynamics to that. There was no other music. I could get used to, with repetition, I could get used to doing it. So I had given up on ever being able to sing and perform, not just alone, but with a band. I never thought I could sing with a band. Never. He's the one that proved me wrong.
Wow. Now, I'm going to go deeper before we wrap up. What has been you guys' biggest challenge? This is 2026. First, two-part question. How long has the band been around? So the question makes sense.
Sure.
How long has the band been around? And then what is the biggest obstacles going into 2026 for you guys?
Do you want to go first? Because
I'll go first.
Go first, babe.
The biggest challenge has been realizing what we have is good enough. We don't need all these extra people. We don't need not that they're not good or great, but we realized we're good enough to make it work.
Right.
It's working.
Just by
We don't
ourselves.
need more.
Right.
And the second challenge, not to listen to somebody else that says you should be more like this. Because more like this takes away of what we really are in the original part of it.
Right.
And then nobody's interested.
Right.
Now they're interested because we are who we are.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense.
I'll give you a specific example. We did a
Maybe he should tell the story. I think I know where. I going about the clown story.
yes.
What's the clown story?
Go ahead.
We were doing a convention and had this person come up the following day after our performance. We did a showcase, and this person came up and said, "Guys, I really have to apologize. I definitely underrated you guys." He said, "When you three walked on stage with no bass player and no guitar player, I thought, what are these three clowns going to do?" And he said, then about 2 minutes later, this wall of sound hit me, and I didn't know what to do. I just stood there with my mouth open going, oh, my God.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, and he says, I would have never believed it.
Right.
And so, yeah, it works. And
You know what that? You
you're
know
a bass player. I have a friend of mine that's a bass player.
Yeah.
And he came to hear the band, and I said, "Give me the scoop on this band. Be as critical as you want to be." And he goes, "Don, first of all, I got to tell you, the sound was amazing." And he goes, "And I can't believe I'm going to say this." He says, "But I didn't miss not having a bass player." He said, "Those backing tracks were so good, and the keyboard player did such a great job." He goes, "I can't add anything to this band."
Wow.
He says, "Save your money, make more money between the three of you."
Right.
He says, "Don't hire a bass player. You don't need one."
Right.
He goes,
Wow.
"It sounds amazing."
Wow.
But the three clowns was that was just
different.
a classic because the guy goes, "I would have never believed what I heard."
Yep.
And you know what? It just goes to show, don't judge a book by the cover.
Right. That's our biggest. That's
Yeah.
our biggest hurdle right now is people just not knowing, just looking at the three of us and not knowing what we can do.
You know what this reminds me of? I know you've seen the movie Step Brothers.
Oh, geez.
You remember when they went up on the stage, and that was, even though it was a movie, I was inspired. I was like, wow, a drummer and one guy who sung opera, phenomenal. Underestimated, because they underestimated that they can do that, and went up there and turned it out.
Right.
You're
right.
crying again. You're getting emotional. You're getting emotional.
It's because
I like that.
I'm so proud of these guys. I'm so proud of what we've done. It's taken us. Oh, so to answer your question, Third Fret, Tracy Roese and the Third Fret Band has been in existence for 3 years.
Going on
on
the
3
third
years.
year, right.
Not very long. Now the desire separately, I've been doing this my whole life. He's been doing this his whole life. We finally come together, and even though it's only been 3 years as a band, it's really been 50 years in the making with our lifetime.
Let me go here, because your drummer says something. You put an ad out for a drummer. Now, don't get emotional on me right now. I got to make you cry a little bit more for ratings.
I'll give you some ratings.
How many people had applied, and how did you wind up saying this is the guy? I told you I'm getting ready to get her.
Right. First of all, have you ever put on social media a posting for a position in a band ever? Have
No.
you ever done that? Don't do it. What? hundreds of people respond to
I
these
know.
because I
That's
put
what
it
I'm
on.
asking. Yeah.
I put it on Facebook. Well, we had a drummer, didn't work out. We had him for one season, didn't work out.
Why didn't it work out before you finished the question?
Just personality. He just didn't get it.
Okay,
he
kinda like
he
what you
wasn't
said.
getting it.
Okay.
He wasn't getting the he didn't want to play to a click track. And a lot of drummers don't want to play to click
What's
tracks.
a click track?
Click track is what gives you the time. It's a click, and it clicks the time that the song is in.
It's a metronome.
It's a metronome, basically.
Okay.
And so a lot of them, I can do it. I don't need a click track. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because you get excited. You get into the song and you lose the time, and we're all following you. And when it comes to being a tight band, a click track makes it no-brainer easy.
Okay.
So
Can we hear the click?
The audience cannot hear the click.
Okay.
It's in your it's in the in-ear monitoring
Okay.
system. So it keeps everybody in the right time and precise.
Okay.
Takes all the guesswork out of it. Again, another technology that people don't want to use, but it makes you better.
Okay.
And so that's why and the in-ear monitors, all this stuff was just the technology he wasn't having it. So we were like, okay, whatever. And so we put this out, and I get hundreds of responses, even though I put in the ad, we use click tracks, we use in-ear monitors, we use this. I was so specific. And then you end up getting responses, and a lot of it was just communicating with people. And so through the course of hundreds of people, we realized pretty collectively and pretty quickly, they don't know what they're talking about. So, the amateurs and the people that they have a drum kit, so they think they're drummers. Not what we were looking for. So we could pretty much weed out the ones that weren't where we knew weren't where they needed to be. So then you drop it down to like 30, and then you start talking to them, and then you do the deep dive in their social media and stuff like that. And so it came down
When
to
you say the deep dive in their social media, I'm stopping you because you're also giving educational tidbits on just how important your social media
your
blueprint is.
right.
Yeah.
And if you have stuff on your social media page, it's got to sound good. It's got to look good. You got to look the part. If you don't look the part, when people look at your social media, like if you show up to a gig and you look like you just painted a house.
Yeah.
No, you're done. And if the sound quality, a lot of people are all over social media, but the stuff they're putting up there, it doesn't sound good and it doesn't look good, and it doesn't stand you out at all. And people are looking at that stuff that you respond to a social media ad, and you don't think somebody's going to look at your social media before they reach back out to you. That's kind of it's stupid. So I look into it, and I look for, where have they played out? What have they done? What's I want to see them performing if it's on their social media page, then it should be them performing. It should be pretty easy. If I can't find any performances of yours on your social media, nope. Bye.
Right. So how did you wind up
Well,
with the choice?
so we narrowed it down to like 10 people through the course, and then we met with him. We brought him over, not to audition, not to have him, show him what he can do, stuff like that, just to have a conversation, because it is not enough. This is like a marriage. A marriage of convenience, where you've got to be able to work together. You've got to be able to be creative together. You've got to be able to be together in close proximity, share in a hotel room or an RV space or whatever. You've got to jive personality-wise first and foremost. It doesn't matter how good you are as a musician, but if you're not good together, if you can't get along, and you're a lot of people come off very egotistical and non-team players,
Right.
and that's a turnoff. if you're not a team player and you're not, if you're coming in to to a talk where what can you do for me instead of, how can we help each other? There are red flags that make it pretty obvious that you're not a good fit for us, because we're all about working together and team player and making the product, not just, ooh, am I going to be seen? And what's this gig going to do for me? It's hard.
So how did you get him now?
He came over, we talked. We told him what our vision was. He told us what he wanted, and it aligned. And his wife has horses, so I'm like,
no. So the horse is sold.
Sold.
The horse
Sold.
no horse. We got to the bottom of it.
And his wife's name's Tracy. So yeah,
What did you think when
kismet.
you met these guys? Was it instantaneous for you to come on board?
I met with them, I believe, 3 times. They'd never heard me play.
You didn't bring the horses.
No, I didn't bring any horses. I had sent videos. They'd see me play. I'd played with a regional act before, the Avalons, which is out of Dayton.
Right.
You've heard of them. Did a lot of the older things, four male vocalists and 4 musicians behind them. So I'd played with a regional act before. Everything just came together. It was a good fit. I wasn't, if it wasn't going to fit business-wise, there's the music side and then the business side of it, and they both have to match up. And if they don't match up, don't waste my time. I won't waste your time.
Right.
And it has to, and it's a breath of fresh air. Everything just came together perfectly, and here we are. So.
Yeah.
we've been reading each other's minds ever since.
You said something that makes perfect sense. You talk about the alignment and so forth. I remember when we first started the Andre the Beast Creighton show, I wanted somebody. I didn't want to carry a lot of the weight, and I wanted somebody that would be able to challenge my creativity and not overshadow, and me not overshadow them. But more importantly, to see the vision. That was one reason I bought Yolanda M. Smith. After reading the book Branding for Success, I was like, wow, she's talking my language. But it's amazing. I've been knowing her for years and never knew that side of her, the artistic side, the paying attention to details. And I like that because I'm detail oriented, but I like it when somebody is even more detail oriented, so I can go, so I can see the chemistry. Before we wrap up, what's next for you guys?
Oh gosh. Well, we're.
What would you like yourself to be now? That's a 2-part question. What's next for you guys, and where would?
There's no difference. What we want, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna get it.
And what's that?
We are. So right now we are wrapping up our festival season show. So we've got the new songs, the new videos, the new special effects, and everything for that show done. And next is original music.
What do you mean when you say original music?
We're going to do some original music. We've been in a cover band, doing mostly our cover songs, and we've released a few licensed covers,
Right.
but we want to do from nothing our own. He's got a library of his own original songs that we're going to start working through.
So you're a writer, songwriter?
He's everything.
Absolutely.
He's
Okay.
everything.
That's what I meant, creating something from
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lifetime of material, and we picked out, I think, like 15 right now that we want to work on. We're going to release over the next year to 2 years.
Right.
But the real goal is to make something from nothing between the 3 of us.
Right.
Okay.
Our own sound, our
truly
own
So
music.
It's a stepping,
right.
each step closer to the ultimate goal, and then we want to just perform that show as an original show without any covers.
Right.
I think
Breaking out.
it's long overdue.
Right.
You know it. I know it. You know it. It's
We've
long
waited
overdue.
our whole lives.
Yeah. Now, what's your songwriting like? Is it more R&B? Is it more rhythm? Give me an idea of what's it like.
That's one of our things is we don't want our music we want you to listen to our music and go, ooh, what genre is that? Because
Okay.
one song has a little R&B feel to it, but
Mhm.
then the next song has like a symphonic metal feel to it. So like, what kind of band is this?
Well,
We want to
what
play
about
a
the Def
little
Leppard
bit of
feel?
it.
You know, I'm
We can
always,
do it. We can do it, baby. We can do it.
So,
I got 5 octaves. I can sing anything. These guys can play anything. There's nothing stopping
You know,
us.
that would be a great follow-up.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
It would be.
yeah, you know, like yesterday I was working, man, and what was I listening to? Lincoln Park, Def Leppard, White Snake. And I
Right.
said, man, you know what happened to this kind of music? It's like it just fell off.
Right.
You know, nobody. You would think somebody would would have reinvented it. And I think what I like most about it was that was an era where you heard the instruments.
Yep.
You heard the drums. You heard the streaming of a guitar. You heard the softness and the deep of a bass and the
Right.
saxophone. Now it's kind of like, you're right. I'm like, what am I listening to?
Right.
But it's all still there.
Yeah, it's
When
still
you
there and it's
hear
still
this
good.
material, it's there. The tool used to play it may have slightly changed,
Right.
but it's there.
Right.
It's there.
It's you got to hear.
Do
it.
you write music too?
We write it together. Yeah.
Do
But
you write too?
I do not.
You got a crap and you
He
sticking with
does.
it.
He just hasn't started.
he hasn't started
He
yet.
hasn't started, but he does. He does.
Yeah.
Because
I
he-
listen to what Michael's put on, the bass tracks.
Yeah.
And that's what you've been listening to Def Leppard. I've been listening to really know Andreas the last,
Yeah.
getting these 15 songs, trying to get them in my
Right.
head because they're pretty advanced as far as the drum parts go.
Right.
How much input do you have in when he writes the melody and he drops the track? I'm always prime. I'm kind of like this when it comes to music. Before I hear the audio, I'm listening for that one piece that's going to drive me into the song. Whether it's do you sit back and go, you know what, this is a nice love ballad. Maybe we need to start out with this tight drum roll. Or maybe we need to come in with this sax first. And Bob, how much input to the rhythmic sound do you have? The input with that.
I think it's pretty much carte blanche at this point.
All of us.
He puts
Yeah.
a bass down that gives you an idea of what the song's going to be like.
Yeah.
And then from there, I can probably take it wherever we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
One example that we had, we released a song, "Come Little Children" a year ago, and it was the first thing I had done with them. I added a triangle in it,
Oh, I like a triangle.
and it was like,
It was beautiful.
wait a minute, we got to put this on the
It's
cover
on the
of
album
this
cover.
song.
Really?
So
Yeah.
it's just a completely, I'm thinking percussion as well as not just set drumming, and we put timpani and chimes and all kinds of stuff in there. So
And it really made the difference.
it turned
Oh my
out
God.
great.
Oh,
You can go and listen to that
You
on
can go and listen to it.
YouTube.
It's out there.
Now, did you think about that before he took a revisit?
So here's how I approach it. What is the essence of the piece? What can we think of that might make it better?
Right.
Probably 8 or 9 of the 10 ideas don't work, but if you find out one that pushes it,
Yeah.
absolutely it's going in.
Right. Right.
The thing is, we try everything.
We try everything
We
we,
try
possibly
everything.
think of. Then we run out of ideas, and then he shows up. How about a triangle? And then the whole thing is like at the beginning is one triangle with this
yes!
long reverb trail that just echoes into infinite eternity, right? But it creates the space,
and you was probably like, why didn't I think of that?
Right.
right?
And we all do that.
One note that's
That's
10
called job
measures
security
long.
on my part.
Yeah.
Right.
You probably like, why did I
Right.
think of that
Right.
earlier?
But that's the thing. We all have that creative input. We all have 100% freedom of creative input. It's not one person running the show and everybody else has to just do what they do. Because it's one of the reasons it's like diversity. You have diversity in a community because diversity helps everybody.
I wish everybody thought the way you thought.
Right.
The world would be a better place.
Oh, it
Right.
would be.
Oh my
know,
God.
if everybody
Don't get me
thought that
started.
way.
I'm going to cry again. Stop.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. If everybody thought that way,
Right.
even when I have people on the show and they talk about their business or whatever, my end game is, okay, how do we take it and make everybody part of this?
Right.
It never should be me, myself, and I. It should be, how do we all come together?
Right. And that's why we love all of the genres. We don't want to be one genre. We want to embrace all of them in what we do. And we've done covers that way. We've been a cover band for 3 years. Yeah. So we've embraced all the genres because they're all good. They're all good. There's not any one genre that is better than another. And it's all music and it's all good. And I've always loved all types of music, and maybe I'm weird, but I don't know. But I feel like the more perspectives, the more differences, when you come together, you create something better.
With that said, thank you guys so much for taking time out to come all the way from Ohio.
I know.
To bless me in 2026 with your presence and to share the great information, not only keeping that beast mindset, but going from here to here and really playing it forward. How can the viewers reach out to you guys, support you guys, and follow you on social media?
Well, you can go. I do have a website called Tracy, www.tracyroese.com. It's spelled Tracy with a Y, Roese. But you can also look us up on social media under the same name. We also have Third Fret Band. So if you Google my name, everything comes up.
Third Fret Band.
Third Fret Band.
T-H, how are you spelling that?
THIRD.
Okay.
Third Fret Band. And then Tracy Roese, everything kind of falls under that canopy, or Third Fret Entertainment. But www.tracyroese.com is probably the best way to reach out. We've got a list, and he's got his channel on music streaming is Rhythm of Andreas, so you can hear some of the stuff that he's already done.
Spell that for the viewers so they can
go ahead.
Rhythm of Andreas, RHYTHM of Andreas, or Andreas is ANDREAS.
Right.
And on that, they can find what?
Original music.
Okay.
And we're actually reworking a lot of it to fit Tracy.
Right.
Okay.
And it's pushed me way beyond what I thought was possible with my talent.
Wow.
I could not have pushed it to where it's going to go. And we're going to replace those songs with our
us.
versions that we're
I like that.
doing, because
So,
it's brought me to a place I never thought was possible.
Now, do we have a social media for our drummer expert?
Unfortunately, no.
They can find you.
They can find him through me.
Through their website. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
TracyRoese.com, or social media is always, my name is my brand.
And I guess they can begin to find your original music on I Am Beast Radio. Download at ZenoFM.com and to listen for their original music on Zeno.
Yeah,
I Am Beast Radio. Guys, thank you so much for taking time to come in. Make sure you guys subscribe, share, like, click that button. All it takes is one click of a button to make a difference in somebody's life and change somebody else's. This has been another, and I do mean another, exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton Show.